Introduction. Control your mind. Control your life. Have you ever felt like your own mind is working against you? You set big goals. You dream of success. But somewhere between ambition and action, your own thoughts step in whispers of self-doubt. Endless overthinking, fear of failure, procrastination. Sound familiar? You're not alone. The truth is, success isn't just about talent, hard work, or luck. It starts and ends with your mind. If your thoughts aren't aligned with success, no amount of effort will get you where you want to go. This book is your roadmap to take back control. For the last 2 decades, I've helped high performers, entrepreneurs, athletes, and everyday people like you transform their mindset, and the results are life-changing. Because once you master your mind, confidence skyrockets, focus sharpens, and success becomes inevitable. Why is this book different? Most people talk about mindset in vague terms. Here, you'll get real, actionable tools to break negative thought patterns, eliminate mental blocks holding you back, rewire your brain for unstoppable confidence build, emotional control under pressure, develop unshakable focus and mental toughness. Your thoughts create your reality. This isn't just motivational fluff, it's neuroscience. The most successful people on the planet all have one thing in common. They've mastered the inner game. And so, can you imagine waking up each day with crystal clear focus, total self-belief, and a mind programmed for success? That's exactly what this book will help you build. If you're tired of sabotaging your own potential, if you're ready to control your thoughts, your emotions, and your results, keep reading. Your breakthrough starts here. Subscribe to stay connected. Inside this book, I'll share powerful insights most people never learn, plus exclusive bonus tools to fast-track your success journey. Let's get started. Your mind is your greatest asset. It's time to use it. Chapter 1. The Battle Within. Have you ever noticed how your mind can be your biggest cheerleader one moment and your harshest critic the next? 1 minute, you're filled with motivation and belief, ready to chase your dreams. The next, doubt creeps in. You hesitate. You question yourself. And suddenly, the opportunity passes, replaced by regret. This constant inner conflict is what I call the battle within, and it's happening inside every one of us. The truth is, your mind is the most powerful tool you have. It can propel you toward success faster than any external resource, or it can silently sabotage everything you work for. And here's the most important thing. The battle isn't happening outside of you. It's happening between your ears. Most people believe their biggest obstacles are external: lack of money, connections, time, or resources. But in reality, the biggest barrier is your own thought patterns. Self-doubt, fear, anxiety, procrastination, overthinking. These are the hidden enemies living rent-free in your mind, quietly killing your confidence, your energy, and your progress. Think about it. How many times have you talked yourself out of taking action? How often have you imagined the worst-case scenario, only to paralyze yourself with fear? Success isn't just about strategy or skills. It's about mastering the conversation happening inside your head. Every successful person you admire, whether in business, sports, or life, has fought and won this battle. They've trained their minds to work for them, not against them. And that mental discipline is often the difference between people who achieve extraordinary success and those who never reach their full potential. Here's the hard truth. If you don't control your mind, it will control you. Left unchecked, your brain defaults to survival mode, focusing on fear, avoiding risks, and keeping you stuck in your comfort zone. But growth never happens there. Success never happens there. The good news? You can win the battle within. You can train your mind. Like a muscle, building strength, resilience, focus, and confidence over time. The key is awareness. You must first recognize the mental patterns holding you back, then consciously replace them with thoughts that drive success. Now, it starts with understanding that your thoughts are not facts. They're just mental habits. Self-doubt? It's a habit. Fear? A habit. Overthinking? You guessed it, a habit. And like any habit, it can be broken and replaced. In the chapters ahead, I'll show you step by step how to break these negative thought loops, rewire your mental patterns, and build a mindset designed for winning. But it begins here with the awareness that the biggest enemy to your success isn't out there. It's within. The greatest battle you'll ever fight is the one inside your own mind. But once you conquer it, there are no limits to what you can achieve. Your success starts in your head, and it starts now. Chapter 2. Break the thought loop. Have you ever caught yourself replaying the same negative thoughts over and over, like a broken record? You think about what could go wrong, you dwell on your past mistakes, or you mentally rehearse imaginary scenarios that only increase your stress. This is what's known as a thought loop, and it's one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck, anxious, and far from their true potential. The mind loves patterns. It seeks familiarity, even if those patterns are destructive. Once a certain thought repeats enough times, it forms a mental loop, a cycle of overthinking, fear, self-doubt, or negativity that becomes automatic. The problem is, most people don't even realize they're trapped in these loops. They think it's just how their mind works, or they assume their anxious, repetitive thinking is normal. But here's the truth. You are not your thoughts. You are the one observing your thoughts. And once you recognize that, you gain the power to change them. Thought loops often sound like, what if I fail? I'm not good enough for this. Why does this always happen to me? I should have done better. Notice how none of these thoughts help you grow. Instead, they trap you in a mental cycle that drains your energy, lowers your confidence, and delays action. Left unchecked, these loops can spiral into anxiety, procrastination, or even self-sabotage. But here's the good news. You can break the thought loop. You can interrupt the cycle and redirect your mind toward thoughts that empower rather than paralyze you. Step 1. Awareness is power. The first step is catching the loop as it happens. Most people run on autopilot, unaware that their mind is stuck in repetition. Start observing your thoughts. Pay attention when you notice anxiety, fear, or negativity creeping in. The moment you recognize it, you disrupt its power. Step 2. Interrupt. The pattern once you notice a negative loop, interrupt it physically or mentally. You can snap your fingers, take a deep breath, stand up, or say, stop, out loud. The goal is to shock your mind out of autopilot, even for a second. Step 3. Replace the thought. Your brain can't focus on two thoughts at once. So after interrupting the loop, consciously replace the negative thought with one that serves you. Example, instead of, what if I fail? Say, what if I succeed beyond my expectations? Instead of, I can't do this, say, I'm still learning, and I'm getting better every day. It may feel strange at first, but repetition rewires your brain. Over time, positive, empowering thoughts become your new default. Remember this, your mind is a tool. You can either let it run wild, or you can train it to work for you. Breaking the thought loop is how you stop wasting mental energy and start building clarity, focus, and confidence. Master this skill, and you'll be unstoppable. Chapter 3. Rewire your mental patterns. Your mind is like a computer, powerful, complex, and capable of running countless programs. But just like a computer, your mind can run outdated or harmful software without you even realizing it. Those mental programs are your thought patterns, and they shape your beliefs, behaviors, and ultimately, your success or lack of it. Here's the truth most people never hear. Your brain loves habits, even the ones that limit you. It craves efficiency, so it builds automatic patterns based on repetition. The more you think a certain way, the stronger that mental pathway becomes, like carving grooves into a dirt road. Over time, your brain defaults to those familiar routes. Even if they lead to anxiety, self-doubt, fear, or procrastination, think about it. If you've spent years telling yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "Success isn't for people like me," those thoughts aren't just random. They're deeply wired into your mental operating system. But here's the empowering part. Just as your mind learned those patterns, it can unlearn them and replace them with patterns that drive success. Rewiring your mental patterns isn't about forcing positive thinking or pretending everything's perfect. It's about deliberately creating new neural pathways, new default settings that support confidence, focus, and resilience. This is backed by neuroscience. Your brain has what's called neuroplasticity, the ability to physically rewire itself. Based on your thoughts, behaviors, and focus, here's how to start that rewiring process. Step 1. Identify the faulty patterns. You can't change what you don't understand. Pay attention to your recurring negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, or mental habits that hold you back. Do you often assume the worst? Do you downplay your achievements? Do you avoid challenges out of fear? Recognizing these patterns is the first critical step. Step 2. Challenge the old wiring. Once you spot an unhelpful pattern, question its truth. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Is it based on facts or fear? Does this thought serve my success or sabotage it? Often, you'll realize these patterns were formed by past experiences, fear of rejection, or other people's opinions, not by your true potential. Step 3. Install new success patterns. This is where the real rewiring happens. Every time you catch an old, limiting thought, consciously replace it with a new, empowering one. For example, "I always fail" becomes "every failure teaches me how to win." "I can't do this" becomes "I'm building the skills to master this." "I'm not confident" becomes "confidence is a skill I'm strengthening." Daily. The more you repeat these success-focused thoughts, the stronger those neural pathways become. Just like building a muscle at the gym. Remember, your brain works on repetition and focus. You can't change mental patterns overnight, but with consistent effort, you'll rewire your mind to operate from confidence, clarity, and unstoppable drive. Master your mental patterns, and success becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Chapter 4. Master emotional discipline. Your mind and your emotions are constantly influencing each other. The problem is, most people let their emotions run the show, and when that happens, success becomes unpredictable. One day you feel motivated and focused, the next, overwhelmed or anxious. But here's the truth that separates top performers from the average. They master their emotional discipline. Emotions are not your enemy. They are signals, information from your inner world. But without discipline, emotions can hijack your thinking, cloud your judgment, and lead to poor decisions. How many times have you reacted out of anger and regretted it later? Or felt fear and backed down from an opportunity? Or let stress paralyze your progress? We've all been there. The problem isn't feeling emotions. The problem is being controlled by them. Successful people experience fear, frustration, self-doubt, and overwhelm just like everyone else. The difference is, they don't let those emotions dictate their actions. They've trained themselves to stay calm under pressure, to pause before reacting, and to channel their emotions into productive energy rather than self-sabotage. Think of emotional discipline like building mental muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. It starts with awareness. You must notice when emotions rise, without judging yourself for them. Understand this. Feeling fear doesn't mean you're weak. Feeling frustrated doesn't mean you failed. Emotions are natural, but what you do with them defines your success. Here are 3 practical ways to master emotional discipline. 1. Create space before you react in emotionally charged moments. Your brain defaults to fight, flight, or freeze mode. The key is interrupting that automatic reaction. When you feel anger, fear, or stress, pause literally. Take a deep breath. Count to 5. Step away from the situation if possible. Creating space allows your logical brain to re-engage, so you respond with clarity instead of emotion-driven. Impulse.2. Name the emotion to tame. Its research shows that simply labeling your emotions reduces their intensity. When you feel overwhelmed, say to yourself, "I'm feeling overwhelmed right now, and that's okay." This small act of self-awareness breaks the emotional loop and gives you back control. You're not suppressing your feelings. You're observing them from a place of power. 3. Channel emotions as fuel. High achievers use emotions as energy. Fear becomes focus. Frustration becomes drive. Instead of letting stress freeze you, use it as a signal to prepare better, sharpen your skills, or double down on your goals. Your emotions can either drain you or fuel you. The choice is yours. Most successful people don't avoid emotions. They navigate them with discipline. Emotional mastery doesn't mean becoming robotic. It means staying calm, clear, and focused no matter what life throws at you. The world rewards those who stay composed under pressure. Master emotional discipline, and you unlock a level of self-control that most people never achieve. The next time your emotions rise, remember this. You can feel the emotion, but your success depends on what you do next. Chapter 5. The power of mental focus in today's world. Your attention is under constant attack. Social media notifications, endless emails, constant news updates, and a never-ending stream of distractions make it harder than ever to stay focused. But here's a fact few people truly understand. Your focus determines your future. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, and your results follow. Think about the most successful people you know or admire. What sets them apart isn't just talent or luck. It's the ability to lock in on their goals with laser-like precision while the rest of the world is drowning in noise. Focus is their secret weapon, and it can be yours too. Your brain is designed to filter information. Every second, millions of bits of data flood your senses, but your mind can only process a small fraction of it. The part of your brain called the reticular activating system, RAS, acts like a mental filter, determining what deserves your attention. The more you focus on your goals, success, and possibilities, the more your mind filters out distractions and hones in on opportunities aligned with your vision. But most people misuse this system. They focus on problems, fears, negativity, and comparison, and guess what? Their brain shows them more of that. Keeping them stuck can overwhelm. To master mental focus, you must consciously train your mind to stay aligned with your goals. Here's how. 1. Eliminate the noise. You can't focus if you're surrounded by constant distractions. Set boundaries. Silence unnecessary notifications. Create focused blocks of time where your only priority is your most important task. Even 30 minutes of undistracted focus daily can multiply your results. 2. Train your focus. Like a muscle, focus is like strength. It grows with use. Start small. Practice focusing on a task for 10 to 15 minutes without interruption, then gradually extend that time. Meditation, deep breathing, or mindfulness exercises also help strengthen your mental endurance. 3. Get clear on what truly matters. Clarity fuels focus. If you're unclear about your goals, your attention will scatter. Define your top priorities. Daily, ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do today that moves me closer to success? Focus on that first. 4. Visualize your target. Mental imagery sharpens focus. Spend a few minutes daily visualizing your success, the results you want, the feelings of achievement, the milestones you're reaching. This primes your brain to filter out distractions and seek alignment with your goals. 5. Protect your mental energy. Mental focus isn't infinite. Decision fatigue, stress, and multitasking drain your energy. Schedule your most demanding tasks when your mind is freshest, typically in the morning. Avoid multitasking. It fragments your attention and reduces productivity. Success doesn't belong to the busiest person. It belongs to the most focused person. When you direct your mental energy toward your goals with unwavering attention, your potential multiplies. Master the power of focus, and you'll separate yourself from the crowd. In a distracted world, your ability to concentrate is your competitive edge. Chapter 6. Build unshakable self-belief. If there's one ingredient that fuels every form of success, it's self-belief. Without it, even the most talented individuals hesitate, doubt themselves, and play small. But when you develop unshakable self-belief, you unlock the confidence to pursue your goals with boldness, even when the odds seem stacked against you. Here's the truth. Most people aren't held back by lack of skills or opportunity. They're held back by the quiet voice inside that says, "You're not good enough," or "What if you fail?" These thoughts may seem harmless, but they create hesitation, and hesitation kills momentum. Self-belief isn't arrogance or blind optimism. It's the deep-rooted certainty that you are capable, worthy, and resourceful enough to figure things out. It doesn't mean you'll never fail. It means you trust yourself to get back up every time you do. The good news? Self-belief is not something you're born with. It's something you build. Like a muscle, the more you exercise it, the stronger it grows. Here's how to start building unshakable self-belief. 1. Silence the inner critic. Your mind has two voices, the critic and the coach. The critic focuses on your flaws, doubts, and fears. The coach reminds you of your strengths, your progress, and your potential. Most people unconsciously let the critic dominate their mental space. To build self-belief, you must consciously amplify your inner coach. Whenever self-doubt creeps in, counter it with empowering truths like, "I've overcome challenges before. Can handle this. Every expert was once a beginner. I'm still learning, and that's part of growth." 2. Keep small promises to yourself. Confidence is built through action, not words. Every time you set a goal, big or small, and follow through, you send your brain proof that you are reliable. Over time, these small wins stack up, reinforcing your belief that you can trust yourself to take action, stay disciplined, and create results. 3. Remember, evidence over emotion. Your mind will often exaggerate fears and downplay your progress. Combat this by collecting evidence of your capabilities. Keep a journal of your accomplishments, lessons learned, and moments where you pushed through fear. Review this regularly. It trains your brain to focus on your strengths, not your shortcomings. 4. Surround yourself with empowerment. Environment shapes belief. If you constantly hear negativity, criticism, or limitation, your self-belief suffers. Instead, immerse yourself in uplifting content, supportive people, and mentors who encourage your growth. Protect your mental environment as fiercely as your physical. 1.5. Act before you feel ready. Waiting to feel confident is a trap. Confidence often comes after action, not before. The most successful people act despite fear in every step. Forward reinforces their belief in themselves. Start small, but start. Momentum builds belief. Unshakable self-belief isn't about being perfect. It's about knowing that no matter what challenges arise, you have what it takes to overcome them. Success belongs to those who trust themselves to figure it out, adapt, and persist. The more you believe in yourself, the more the world starts to believe in you. Chapter 7. The Success Visualization Blueprint. Your mind believes what it sees even if it hasn't happened yet. That's the secret behind visualization, a technique used by top athletes, world-class entrepreneurs, and high achievers to train their brain for success before they ever step onto the field or into the challenge. Visualization isn't just daydreaming or wishful thinking. It's mental programming at the highest level. Scientific studies have proven that your brain reacts to imagined experiences almost the same way it reacts to real ones. That means when you visualize success, your brain fires the same neural pathways that would activate if you were physically performing the action. In other words, you can literally train your brain for success before it happens. Top Olympic athletes use this method to prepare for competition. They mentally rehearse every movement, every detail, the way their body feels, the sound of the crowd, the moment of victory. When the real moment arrives, their mind has already been there. You can apply the same strategy to your own life, whether your goal is crushing a presentation, building a successful business, improving your health, or achieving financial freedom. But there's a right and wrong way to visualize. Many people make the mistake of only picturing the outcome, seeing the rewards, the applause, the success. While that's powerful, it's incomplete. The most effective visualization blueprint includes both the process and the result. Here's how to use visualization to train your mind for peak performance. 1. Visualize with intensity and detail. Don't just see your success, feel it. Engage all your senses. Picture yourself confidently speaking in the meeting, your heart steady, your voice strong. Feel the excitement of achieving your goal. Hear the sounds around you. The more vivid and real you make the mental experience, the deeper the programming. 2. Rehearse the process, not just the prize. Focus on the steps that lead to success, not just the final moment. If your goal is running a marathon, visualize the training sessions, your steady breathing, your endurance growing. If your goal is career success, visualize the daily discipline, the learning, the small victories along the way. This conditions your brain for consistency, not just the high points. 3. Use visualization daily. Like any skill, repetition builds results. Spend a few minutes each morning or before bed visualizing your success. Prime your mind for confidence, clarity, and action. Over time, your brain will start treating those visualized experiences as familiar, and familiarity breeds confidence. 4. Combine visualization with action. Visualization sets the mental foundation, but action builds the reality. Don't use this tool as a substitute for hard work. Instead, let it fuel your motivation, sharpen your focus, and align your mind for success. Visualization is one of the most underused success tools available. The most successful people visualize their goals long before the world sees their achievements. Their mind gets there first, and then reality follows. See it in your mind, believe it in your heart, and you'll hold it in your hands. Chapter 8. Crush limiting beliefs. If you've ever wondered what truly holds people back from success, it's not usually a lack of resources, intelligence, or opportunity. More often, it's an invisible wall built entirely inside the mind. Limiting beliefs. A limiting belief is any thought or internal story that tells you why you can't achieve something. These beliefs operate quietly in the background, shaping your actions, decisions, and results without you even realizing it. Left unchecked, they create mental ceilings that keep you stuck, no matter how hard you work. Consider this. Have you ever wanted to try something new, pursue a goal, or step outside your comfort zone, only to hear that little voice whisper, "You're not smart enough," or "People like you don't succeed," or "What if you fail?" That voice is rooted in a limiting belief. The most dangerous thing about limiting beliefs is how subtle they can be. They often disguise themselves as logic, being realistic, or protecting yourself from failure. But in reality, they are mental chains preventing you from tapping into your full potential. The good news? Limiting beliefs are not. Facts, they are learned patterns of thinking, and anything learned can be unlearned. Step 1. Identify your limiting belief, so you can't destroy what you can't see. Start by observing the thoughts that arise when you aim higher. Ask yourself, what excuses do I use to avoid action? What fears repeatedly hold me back? What negative labels do I attach to myself? Common limiting beliefs sound like, I'm not good with money. I always fail at relationships. Success is only for lucky people. I'm too old, too young to start. Write them down. Seeing them on paper removes their power and makes them easier to challenge. Step 2. Trace. The source. Most limiting beliefs are formed in childhood, through past failures, or from societal conditioning. Maybe a teacher once told you, you're not smart enough, or you grew up hearing, people like us never succeed. Understanding where the belief came from reveals how outdated and irrelevant it truly is. Step 3. Replace with empowering. Beliefs. Your mind craves certainty. If you don't give it an empowering belief, it clings to the old limiting one. For every negative thought, consciously create a new belief. I'm bad with money becomes I can learn to master my finances. I always fail becomes every setback makes me stronger. Success isn't for me becomes I am worthy and capable of success. Repeat these beliefs daily. Your brain rewires through repetition. Step 4. Act in alignment with new beliefs. Belief alone isn't enough. Action reinforces belief. Even small steps in alignment with your new mindset prove to your brain that growth is happening. Confidence compounds. The people who rise to the top aren't free from doubt. They've simply crushed the beliefs that once kept them small. You can do the same. Your only real limits are the ones you accept. It's time to crush them and rewrite the story of what's possible for your life. Chapter 9. Mental toughness for hard times. If success were easy, everyone would have it. But the reality is, the journey to success is filled with obstacles, failures, rejection, and moments that test your limits. The question is not if you will face hard times, but how you will respond when they come. That response is determined by one thing: mental toughness. Mental toughness is the ability to stay strong, focused, and resilient in the face of challenges. It's what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades, when setbacks pile up, and when life feels unfair. Most people crumble under pressure, but those with mental toughness rise above, adapt, and keep pushing. The truth is, hard times don't build character, they reveal it. And mental toughness is not something you're born with. It's a skill you can train and strengthen over time. Just like a muscle. 1. Expect challenges. Don't fear them. One of the biggest mental shifts you can make is to stop being surprised by adversity. Success requires struggle. It's part of the process. The most resilient people don't view obstacles as unfair. They see them as the price of growth. When you expect challenges, you stop wasting energy on frustration and start focusing on solutions. 2. Control what you can. Release what you can. Third times often trigger anxiety because we focus on factors outside our control. What others think, unexpected setbacks, or timing. Mentally tough people train their focus on what they can control: their mindset, effort, attitude, and daily actions. This keeps you grounded and prevents overwhelm. 3. Redefine failure as feedback. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every setback provides lessons, clarity, and growth. Mentally tough individuals don't personalize failure. They analyze it, adjust, and keep going. The faster you learn from mistakes, the faster you evolve. 4. Stay calm under pressure when things go wrong. Emotions run high: panic, frustration, anger. But mental toughness is about keeping a cool head, especially when chaos hits. Deep breathing, mental pauses, and staying solution-focused allow you to perform under pressure rather than react emotionally. 5. Cultivate. Grit your inner drive. To persist, grit is your ability to stick with your goals despite obstacles. It's built through discipline, consistency, and embracing discomfort. Mentally tough people don't quit because it's hard. They persist because they've conditioned themselves to see the hard moments as necessary for growth. The harsh truth? Life will test you. You'll face rejection, failures, delays, and moments of doubt. But the more you train your mental toughness, the faster you bounce back, the stronger you become, and the closer you get to your goals. Winners are not those who never struggle. They're the ones who refuse to stay down. When you build mental toughness, no setback can defeat you permanently. Tough times don't last, but tough minds do. Chapter 10. Think big. Act bold. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary success often comes down to this simple principle. Think big, act bold. Yet most people think small, dream safe, and act cautiously, not because they lack ambition, but because they've been conditioned to fear failure, rejection, or judgment. But here's a truth that high achievers live by. Your mindset defines your ceiling. If your thinking is small, your success will be limited. But when you expand your vision and back it with bold action, your opportunities grow beyond what you ever thought possible. The problem is, we've all been programmed by society, family, or past experiences to play it safe. We hear things like, be realistic, don't get your hopes up, stay in your lane. But thinking small never created breakthroughs. Playing it safe never changed lives. Every major success story started with someone daring to think beyond the limits of what seemed possible and having the courage to act boldly, even when the outcome wasn't guaranteed. Big thinking is a mental skill, not a personality trait. You can train your mind to see possibilities where others see obstacles. But it starts with giving yourself permission to want more, to dream beyond your current circumstances, background, or fears. Here's how to cultivate the Think Big, Act Bold mindset. 1. Expand your mental limits. Ask yourself, if I knew I couldn't fail, what would I pursue? Most people limit their vision to what feels safe or certain. But growth lives outside of certainty. Let your imagination stretch beyond your comfort zone. Big success starts with bold vision. 2. Study bold thinkers. Surround yourself with stories, mentors, and role models who defied the odds. Read about innovators, entrepreneurs, leaders, and athletes who started small but thought big. Their stories prove that success isn't reserved for the lucky, it belongs to the bold. 3. Calculated risks. Bold action isn't reckless, it's intentional. Mentally strong people take risks, but they prepare, strategize, and learn from every step. Don't wait for the perfect moment, it rarely comes. Progress comes to those who act, adjust, and act again. 4. Reframe fear as a sign of growth. Fear is a natural response to thinking bigger. It means you're stretching beyond old limits. Instead of avoiding fear, use it as a signal that you're on the edge of growth. Bold action often feels uncomfortable, but comfort zones never produce greatness. 5. Align action with vision. Big thinking without action is daydreaming. Bold thinking, paired with courageous action, creates real success. Every step you take reinforces belief, builds momentum, and expands your results. Remember this: no one creates extraordinary success by accident. It happens when you train your mind to reject small, safe thinking and commit to bold, consistent action. Even when uncertainty is present, think big, act bold, and watch your world expand in ways you never imagined. Your mind controls your destiny. Master this mindset, and success will follow.